This week, beards.
Next level jack-o'-lanterns.
And is Jimmy Kimmel a great-grandmother?
This is the front page. Welcome to the front page, the show that brings you the top content of the week from the social news website reddit.com. I'm Tyler Slayton.
And I'm Neil Figuracion.
There was something you want to talk about at the top.
You know, I just today...
Yes, this is breaking news.
I just today saw the news that Playboy magazine will not be publishing nudes anymore after a certain point. I'm not sure when the last one is.
March. Next
so
March.
There's still like a
Which is, it's weird that they're like...
Well, I mean, like, I guess at least, I don't know.
They're warning people? Don't re-up your subscription, because...
No, I feel like they're trying to change the identity of the magazine.
Yeah, I get, they mentioned the whole, they did it very... The announcement they put out was very, oh, it's passé to have nudity. And it's just like, no, come on. It's because people can get it
porn
anywhere.
Is just a different world, and I don't know that, modern porn versus what Playboy was to the 1950s.
Right. What it basically breaks down to is what people, they can get the nudity that's in Playboy literally anywhere. If you have a smartphone in your pocket, you can get that. So they want to try and legitimize...
Even harder.
Well, yeah, I was going to say worse, but not worse, just different.
Harder.
Harder, yes. I know you get harder when you look at the... Hi-oh. No, but they want to, so it's if we can legitimize our magazine a little more, we can get it on more newsstands, people won't, it's not taboo to buy it. Mm-hmm. But, I'm sorry, no one, I don't know anyone that's going to
I'll be honest and say that I read a lot of the articles over the history of Playboy.
It's not bad, anytime you see,
there's some of the best interviewing in that
Yeah,
magazine.
that's what I was going to say. Anytime there's, a news story, it's someone said this in the interview. Inevitably, that interview was in Playboy magazine.
Right.
But honestly, it's just really, do we need magazines anymore for that matter?
Well, that's an issue.
Yeah, but it's just oh, you know what? I like my news a month behind.
I'm wondering, what, but it's not about news. This is not a news magazine.
Yeah, but it's content. It's content that can't be up to date.
Right, but the point is it's not about dating the information. It's about finding the information in the first place, or how it's presented, or who's doing the interviewing.
I guess, but we've got other sources for that too.
So is Playboy.tv's whole hardcore porn thing gonna go away too?
I don't know. It's just, I feel like they're in a world where they just can't compete on any front.
So,
it's any actual content, any news, just go to Vice.
Yeah.
If you want the nudity, throw a rock and you'll hit, some sexual content.
Right.
And get as specific as you want, because it's there. Rule 34. You're not familiar with Rule 34?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What's Rule 34?
You don't know?
I know what it is, but you can tell them.
Oh, Rule 34 is, it's anything sexual that you can think of is on the internet. It's out there.
There's a Smurfs porn, for sure.
Put in whatever you want into Google, you'll find it, and...
I'm sure there's a Stage 2 TV porn site.
Oh, you think people are doing slash fiction, featuring you and me? Probably.
Probably.
If not, we need to work harder, because we haven't made it until people are writing slash fiction about you.
That's it. I read, speaking of which, I read...
Good, because I don't have a segue.
A friend of mine wrote a slashy kind of book called Eaten Out by Eli Whitney's Cotton Gin, which is a semi-historical porn novel about a lesbian woman who has a tryst with Eli Whitney's Cotton Gin, and it's about as funny a thing as I think I've read in ages.
Weird that didn't come up on anyone's radar at any point.
Didn't, well, yeah. It's some dude wrote it and put it on Amazon.
That could be you like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, check this shit out.
Yeah.
Speaking of zombies, you did it. You set me up for the segue.
What did I do?
Speaking of zombies, we can get into our first story.
Okay.
All right, submitted to the subreddit Movies by Inukai44. Resident Evil stunt woman out of coma after crash details her horrifying injuries. Did you hear about this?
No.
So I guess they're filming Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, the last cash grab, in South Africa right now, and there's a stunt woman. Oh, I should bring the thing up. There's a stunt woman named Olivia Jackson, who I think has been Mila Jovovich's stunt woman in all the Resident Evil movies. She was in a serious accident. She was placed into a medically induced coma after colliding with a camera crane while performing a motorcycle stunt.
Holy mackerel.
She's now posted a message on her Facebook detailing the horrific extent of her injuries, but assuring friends and family that she is beginning to heal. This is the post. This is the list of all the things that happened to her in this one accident. 2 weeks in a coma, brain bleeding, brain swelling, severed main artery and neck, crushed and degloved face. Put me on this camera right now. Do not Google that last one. This is not a dare. Don't Google the last thing I said. I'm not even going to repeat it because I don't want you to go do it. It is, you don't want or need to see that. Just know it's awful. Several broken ribs, paralyzed arm, shattered scapula, broken clavicle, broken humerus, broken radius and ulna, with an open wound and 7.5 pieces of bone missing, amputated thumb, torn fingers, 5 nerves torn out of spinal cord. But clearly she still has a sense of humor. She said, "Not my funnest day on set."
Yeah, that is not a good
That
day.
is all horrifying.
Yeah, well, I know people who do stunts, and like, what? How could something that awful?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and I don't want to assume it was any sort of like
Negligence.
Negligence. Yeah, I assume they took all the precautions. It's just a freak thing that happened. But yeah, it's frightening to think about.
Yeah. I've never had a
Jackson finished her. Neither have I, actually.
We don't do anything apparently.
Yeah, no, it's not from like, oh, I did all these extreme things and I didn't break any bones.
Well, I did super extreme Tony Hawk Pro Skater back in the day.
This is true. It's crazy, that long list. But she finishes the post by saying, "Thanks to everyone for their prayers and beautiful messages. I'm sure it's all helped pull me through this difficult time. Long road to recovery, but just going to take it day by day."
Get better, Olivia Jackson.
we wish you well, because you seem like a super cool lady, and that's a horrible thing to happen to you, especially for a movie that probably didn't need to happen in the first place.
Well, let's not dwell on that.
Right.
Get better, Olivia Jackson.
Actually, speaking of stunt-related tragedies, this is not funny, but one of the most famous stunt deaths was for the movie Gone Fishing. Remember the movie Gone Fishing with Joe Pesci and Danny Glover?
I don't think I ever saw it.
No one did. Came out in the late 90s. It was this horrible, stupid comedy, but there was just some stunt that went wrong, and someone died for the sake of that movie, which is just tragedy piled on top of tragedy.
We don't need to rate someone's death against the movie that they were working on.
Yeah, that's not fair, but yeah, I guess it wouldn't have been worth it in any case. You can't just be like, someone died in Citizen Kane, but I mean, we got Citizen Kane, so that wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
But it's just an interesting thing that when bad piles on top of bad, it's
tough working on sets, man.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, in conclusion, get well soon, Olivia Jackson. Moving on. Remember last week? Last week we started our wish list.
Yesterday. What happened?
Last week we started our wish list. Remember the staff, the Pixel staff?
Yes. I want one of those.
Well, I'm about to add to the list of I want one of those. This was submitted to the subreddit Gaming by Kevlar Yarmulke.
Oh, Kevlar Yarmulke.
Yeah.
Like Havana Gila.
Is that how Yarmulke is spelled?
That's Yarmulke.
I'm not a smart guy. We've established this. 21
Kevlar
episodes.
Yarmulke.
I'm not a smart person. Also, a Kevlar yarmulke would be very impractical.
Your hair would get stuck in it in painful ways.
Well, I'm just saying you would...
Wait, Kevlar is not chainmail.
No, well, yeah, Kevlar is for make it bulletproof, which you'd have to be shot from a very specific angle in order for that to be effective. I guess it's better than nothing. But this is better than everything.
Abilities with their yarmulke.
NES built into an NES cartridge.
Fire?
look at this thing.
Where?
Right? I want it.
What does it do?
It plays NES games. It's a Nintendo. But they, like, built it inside a cartridge.
Blah.
Right?
Blah?
Into
so the controllers plug into that
plug in
thingy?
right there, and just like a regular Nintendo. On-off switch, I assume.
How does it power?
That's a good question.
I mean, I see a switch.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I guess there might be a thing in the back, or I don't know. You could probably run a Nintendo board on like batteries at this point. That
crazy.
I have a thing
Just
I built
it by jiggling it.
I have a thing I built in a. Do you know what Raspberry Pi is? Yeah, that's how it's little turbines in there. Do you know what Raspberry Pi is?
It's delicious with whipped cream.
Tiny PC. It's like the case is about the size of a deck of cards. But I have every video game from like 1979 to like 1993.
Blah.
Which is crazy because it's only like there's a little like micro SD card. It's like 64 gigs or something. So every video game for like a lifetime fits on. A lot of
video games.
Just the Nintendo games, because they're all in folders, just the Nintendo games on there, I have every Nintendo game that was ever made, and it's like 500 megabytes.
Including E.T.?
That wasn't for Nintendo, that was Atari.
Oh, right. See, I don't know video
But yes, I do have E.T. I haven't played it yet, but...
The Twin Peaks game? It's
probably in there. I have all of them that I acquired.
Those are not Nintendo games. These are Atari games.
Yeah. No, but I have Atari.
No. Twin Peaks was a Nintendo.
Was it a Commodore 64, maybe?
I don't know.
Because I have those. I got all of it. I got everything from like early arcade up through like Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo era.
I just want to go back and play the Hitchhiker's Guide text adventure.
I don't have a key. Oh, yeah. I guess I just have controllers for it, so it'd be really hard to play this text adventure. You have to be like A. But yes, we want one. So that's going to be added when we're like cam girls with our wish list.
Probably less expensive than the Pixel wand.
That's true. We will love you more if you buy us the Pixel wand, though. I think
I will use it.
Well, first you have to figure out how to use it, and then we'll use it.
It's just twirling.
It's just twirling.
Like, what if you could make like tassels? Make all
okay. I feel like you should write a letter to that company. We're talking too much about last week. Let's talk about this week. Moving on.
What's going on this week?
Well, submitted to the subreddit Not the Onion by I Am Dek, D-E-K.
That's 10 in Esperanto, if anyone's wondering.
I don't think anyone was. Police called to a meeting of beard fans in Sweden after passersby confused them with ISIS terrorists.
What?
Yeah. So, terror police in Sweden were called to reports of a group of bearded men in dark clothes raising a black flag above a remote castle. But instead of ISIS militants, officers responding to the scene stumbled across a meeting of an international organization of beard aficionados. The Swedish chapter of, quote, the Beard Villains. So technically they are bad guys. As they've
at least
dubbed
according
themselves.
to superhero lore,
right?
Someone labels himself a villain.
Met on Saturday for a photo shoot at the ruined castle of Brehus, with members excited to be pictured with the organization's black and white flag. And while the group might have looked menacing from a distance, when they got closer, police found 30 young men hugging and laughing, dressed in formal clothes, not militant garb. Andreas Franson, a Bearded Villains member and founder of RateMyBeard.se, real website, go look at it.
Did you?
No. Wrote on Facebook later that the run-in with the officers was, quote, not what we set out for. One would assume. After an hour, police showed up, he said. They told us they got a call from someone driving past on the highway saying that they were ISIS terrorists at the ruins. Police, of course, saw that they weren't terrorists, just happy and nice bearded gentlemen. So this is weird. Like, honestly, if you're driving down a highway and you maybe have some prejudices, but you see a bunch of bearded gentlemen that you think might be terrorists, you call whatever the Swedish 911 is. You'd think when the operator goes, 911, what is your emergency? You go, you know what, never mind, it's stupid. Like, this person went through with going, no, there's definitely ISIS members.
That flag is black with white on it, so if you're not looking very closely...
What? They could be pirates for that, like...
what about that dildo flag that someone thought was ISIS?
At the gay pride parade? Yeah. That person was also an idiot. That one didn't get reported on Fox News. Or this one didn't get reported on Fox News. The other one definitely did.
There's that whole Cocks Not Glocks thing.
I'm sorry?
The gun control protest, which is to
open
carry your dildo on campus.
Yeah, good for them.
So I'm making many parallel shifts.
I know.
Here.
Well, just like that's a tangential form of protest, you are a tangential sort of gentleman.
Transcendental? Tangential?
I don't know. I've gone. We've gone too far. One last thing in here. Like, you're totally with the beard villains at this point, except one of the guys says, while they laughed about the incident at the time, it highlighted the prejudices bearded men face. It's like, dude, come on. Like, yeah, that's... Clearly things are going really well in Sweden if it's like, us bearded gentlemen are certainly being discriminated against.
I feel like, and I have never been to Sweden. I've met many people from Sweden.
Okay.
It feels fairly homogenous, that country.
Yeah.
So... That
their parent, like, just because you're, like, a beard, that increases your chances of being a terrorist
tenfold. You're
tenfold.
alien. You're not... yeah.
All right. We can move on.
I don't really know what Sweden's like, though.
Clearly very prejudiced against bearded gentlemen. I think that's what we've proven. I know.
I see.
I would not be doing well. I'd be...
You'd be in jail.
Probably.
In the pokey.
Or
whatever the Swedish word for the pokey.
The pokey.
Yeah. The pokey.
All right, next story. Submitted to the subreddit Pics by SlugIsCool99. Very simple. More parking lots should look like this. Come on.
Yeah.
Yes! It's so obvious.
Yeah.
Like...
I thought there were solar panels at, like, the community college where... in my hometown.
Well, obviously these things exist, but it's sort of the thing where it's like, yeah, why don't they all look like that? Like, first, like, shade is nice.
Well, that's the first thought.
We all like shade. And then power.
Well, you know how the power industry is fighting tooth and nail against...
Well, yeah. Well, but that still doesn't mean I disagree with more parking lots should look like this.
Well, fair.
And with desert just beyond them, or whatever's going on back there. But yeah, that was a quick one. I think we agree with Slug is cool. Also with the fact that Slug is cool.
99.
All right. I'm going to move on because I want to get to this next story. This one... Oh, man. You are not ready for this story.
I am not ready.
We've done like a couple hundred stories on this show.
Have we?
Yeah, it's episode 21.
Crazy.
This is up there with one of the wildest stories we've ever done.
Let's go.
All right. Submitted to the subreddit. Oh, hold on. I want to... Slow, man. We're going to be smooth about this. All right. Submitted to the subreddit Today I Learned, one of our favorites, by L0331. Today I learned that on an island in Indonesia, if a child dies before it has started teething, the baby is placed inside the trunk of a growing tree. The hole is then sealed, and as the tree begins to heal, the child is believed to be absorbed. Now, that's some wild stuff. That is the tip of this iceberg. The picturesque mountains of the region of South Sulawesi in Indonesia is home of an ethnic group called the Toraja. Pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. These simple people practice animism. The view that all non-human entities, such as animals, plants, and even inanimate objects, possess a spiritual essence, have developed some of the most elaborate funeral rites in the world. These include the tree burials reserved for infants who die before teething, and parading mummies who died decades ago. When a Torajan dies, family members of the deceased are required to hold a series of funeral ceremonies over many days. But the ceremonies don't take place immediately after death because a typical Toraja family often lacks the funds needed to cover the funeral expenses. So they wait weeks, months, sometimes years, slowly raising funds until enough has been saved. During this time, the deceased is not buried, but is embalmed and stored in a traditional house under the same roof with his or her family. Until the funeral ceremonies are completed, the person is not considered to be truly dead, but merely suffering from an illness. So, just in case you're not with us so far, if you die in this certain area of Indonesia, you just hang out in your house.
Until someone pays.
Until someone can afford to give you the proper send-off. All right.
What's the proper send-off?
We'll get into that. Once enough funds have been collected, the ceremony can begin. Ceremony is very interesting. There's some animal sacrifice. There's some dancing. There's some singing. I know you're not down with the animal sacrifice, but animals get eaten. It's not just like singing. Dancing and singing is great. The animals are also eaten, but they're ritualistic. But we'll move past that.
Like Hannibal style.
These are not people, just animals.
Same to me.
Then comes the actual burial. But Torajan tribe members are rarely buried in the ground. They are either placed in caves dug out of the rocky side of the mountain, or wooden coffins that are hung on a cliff. The grave is usually expensive and takes a few months to complete. This is where it goes from, like, interesting to creepy. A wood-carved effigy called a tautau, representing the deceased, is usually placed in the cave looking out over the land, and those look like this.
Whoa.
So, you die, and then you are hung in a box on the side of a mountain, and a creepy doll is put there to represent you.
But not like animatronic, like Chuck E. Cheese style.
It looks like a demented It's a Small World a little bit.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Alright, this is where the whole babies thing's in it. If a child dies before he has started teething, the baby is wrapped in cloth and placed inside a hollowed out space within the trunk of a growing tree. Dozens of babies may be interred. That's a weird word. No, maybe interred within a single tree.
It means like buried.
I guess. Like one tree, like there's a picture of that on one of these. Yes. That's an infant's grave. Right? I hesitate. Oh, well, all right, I'll finish the story. The burials are completed. The guests have feast and return to their homes, but the rituals are not over. Every few years in August, a ritual called Manene takes place in which the bodies of the deceased are exhumed to be washed, groomed, and dressed in new clothes. The mummies are then walked around the village like zombies. Look at this. Like, so they bring out the bodies of their dead and, like, put them in suits and stuff.
Wow.
Like, these people know about the necktie, and they still... Dude, I hesitate to use the word crazy, because this is people's cultures, and let's face it,
thing, man.
These people are dead. Like, it's not like they're hurting anyone.
Well, this is how what you share important things with the people you care about, in a way.
Yes, I understand. Like, all rituals that have to do with what we do with our dead are about, are about grief and about, moving on or the lack of moving on. The inability to move on. But man, this is a weird one.
It's definitely different from what we do in America.
It's very different. It's really hard to wrap your head around. It's like, it's just the whole thing. The whole, like, it hangs out, like, the person's, like, body hangs out in your house, and the creepy dolls, and the other crazy thing is, this is not like, oh, we sent cameras in, and, like, white men haven't been here, and, like, this is, if you go on the Indonesian Tourist Board website, this is, like, the number 2 tourist attraction that is listed on there. Right? It's a weird open thing that, like, they just invite people to come look at it, like... That's the other thing. Like, is you can go observe it. You'd think it would be a private affair, but then again, these are people that are.
This is the way we were trained to think about this.
I know. I'm not saying it's wrong. Like, they're not hurting anyone,
right? But the weirdness is just like the American way of looking at death.
No, that's
not just American.
Way before American, yeah, we've been burying our dead because of disease and not wanting to look at mummies.
But people have been mummified.
I suppose, but man, this is up there. This is gonna go in. This is in the highlight reel. This is in our clip of the year at the end, which we're not actually doing. But all right. Anyway, next story. Moving on to another frightening locale, Detroit. This is submitted to the subreddit Technology by Mepper. Come on. More than 10,000 problems fixed through improved Detroit cell phone app. The introduction of a new cell phone app, Improved Detroit, allows users to easily alert City Hall to potholes, illegal dumping sites, abandoned cars, water main breaks, busted traffic signals, and broken hydrants. In the 6 months since Mayor Mike Duggan's administration has launched the app, more than 10,000 problems have been fixed, city's officials said today. About 6,500 people have downloaded the app since it became available in April. According to the city, the app has helped, I'm not going to read the specific numbers, but it's thousands of all those illegal dumping sites. That's the majority. But potholes, abandoned vehicles, they've shut off running water to almost 1,000 abandoned structures. This is a quote from the mayor. The Improved Detroit app has ushered in a new era of customer service and accountability in city government. It's never been easier for Detroiters to get their voices heard and their complaints taken care of. And it goes on to talk about, I guess this is not the only app that this administration has launched. There's one that it's called Detroit Police Connect, which provides anonymous ways to contact the police, and something called the D.Bus, which is an app that provides riders real-time location, movement, and arrival times of buses. So this is a mayor and his administration embracing technology in order to improve a city, and it seems like it's very much working in a city that definitely needs the help.
Yeah.
Because things have not been so bueno in... people in Detroit watch the movie RoboCop, and they're like, that seems better. So I feel like this is totally working out.
Well, hopefully so. If you're having city problems, I've got news for you, son.
See, I thought of that joke also, and I was
I got 10,000 problems, and this app ain't...
I want the record to show that I thought of that joke when I saw the story, and I chose not to say it.
You didn't?
Because that joke is from 2001.
It's still...
We didn't have enough smartphones when that joke was created. Yeah, but I thought that was really cool, and I want to see more... needs to be more government embracing technology, I think. There's a pretty big lack of it in general.
I'd like to see more government not selling off its city.
That would be... It'd be nice to avoid the issue first, and then... But the issues are here. We got to take care of them. That's the lamest, most general... That's the thing that would get a cheer at a Bon Jovi concert. The issues are here. We just got to take care of them. I'm from the Midwest. All right, we can move on. Next story. This is submitted to the subreddit Pics by Beef Juicy Hot. We don't need to examine that one.
I'm going to.
What we do need to examine is... this is an image. My great-grandmother looks exactly like Jimmy Kimmel. Well, we will be the judge of that. Yes, I would say a definitive yes.
There's similarity. My hair used to be about that high.
What? Why? How?
Because it was the 80s.
All right, fair enough. This was apparently taken in the 1880s, yeah.
Yeah. Tin type or whatever.
But man, that woman looks like Jimmy Kimmel.
All right.
I probably could have prepared some sort of side-by-side thing, but we all know what Jimmy Kimmel looks like.
I'll take it.
We've all watched whatever's on after Oprah.
People look like people, though.
well, this person looks like a specific person, and that person is
and Jimmy Kimmel
late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel. I guess that's technically true. This woman is probably long dead. Jimmy Kimmel looks like this lady.
Yeah.
I had a weird thing. Have you seen the movie You're Next?
No.
Or have you watched the new Walking Dead show?
No.
I had a weird thing where there's an actor that's in both of those things that he's like a 17-year-old kid, but looks exactly like Chloe Grace Moretz, Hit Girl.
Oh. And
I'm talking. It looks like if you gave Hit Girl like the, you know how all kids have their hair now, the floppy, like the Justin Bieber cut.
Yeah.
If you just put that on Hit Girl's head, it is uncanny. Like I was sitting there, I was watching this movie, and I'm like, remind me to tell you something because it's distracting me and I can't focus on this movie. But when it's over, I'm going to tell you this. And we rewound it and we're just like, oh my God. And I immediately went on Google. I was like, I can't be the only person who thinks this. And there's tons of hits of like, hey, doesn't this person look like this person?
People are people.
People are people. We are not the unique snowflakes that we like to believe we are. All right. It's that time. We got to do our last story.
What?
I know. This flew by. But this is submitted to subreddit Gaming by Can't Trust Hillary, who I believe has submitted stories to this before. We've used stories they've had.
They must have a very bad friend.
Yeah, I don't know who the Hillary they're talking. It's Hillary Duff, I bet. I never trusted Hillary Duff. Halloween is coming up. Is that are you just hearing about this? Why'd you gave like the wait a minute, I think he's right. And there's gonna be a lot of people carving jack-o'-lanterns. Those people need to step their game up. Because look at this thing. This is a Luigi's Mansion jack-o'-lantern of awesome. Now you look at this, and this seems cool so far, correct?
I'm sure. Yes.
Really nice detail. All right, and they've carved a boo into the back. So once they put the light in, that is awesome.
That is very cool.
I don't know how you get like shading like that.
Well, I mean, it's definitely carved specifically to have that.
I know, but it's like I don't know,
light.
but then you do that.
Oh, and then
it projects on the wall.
Oh, that is very cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's it. Like he won.
That's a whole like thing.
Oh, for sure. Like he won jack-o'-lanterns. Like that's it. Like I don't see. We'll probably get more jack-o'-lanterns.
It's a very cool carving. First of all,
he's awesome.
You don't do that on a template.
No. I'm sure this is all. I don't know. I don't want to assume, but yeah, this is all extremely well done. I don't know how. I don't know. My mind just does not think that way with like negative space.
I do love negative space.
Also, squash. I don't think that way.
I rarely cut out jack-lanterns.
Well, I only do it about once a year, so.
Yeah. Less for me.
But you know what you should do more than once a year?
What?
Watch the front page.
Hey.
You should watch it every week, and we thank you for watching it. Please be sure to comment, like, share, favorite, subscribe. Tell your mom about the show. Your mom would love this show, and we love your mom.
Not like that.
Why not like that?
I mean,
she's a grown woman. She can do what she wants.
I'm not.
She's an attractive lady.
Probably, but.
So our viewers' moms aren't attractive ladies?
I can't say.
All right. Well, tell us in the comment if your mom's an attractive lady. But anyway, until next time, I'm Tyler Slayton.
I'm Neil Figuracion.
We will see you next time on the front page.